Welcome, welcome, welcome. The 2021 National Hockey League Draft Lottery is about to begin. Thank you all for joining us here at Sens Talk. Noah Luden and myself, Brandon Plan, here to take you through this year's Draft Lottery. Noah, how are we doing today, buddy?
Oh, I'm excited. It's not quite, you know, the crazy draft as last year, but listen, first overall pick would be crazy for Ottawa and just would, I'd
Is it going to
hope
be a
that.
top three pick?
Is it gonna be a top three pick? Top three pick? You
We'll
never
see.
know. Hope there's some good defensemen, some good forwards. It's gonna be really exciting because Ottawa could use both of those.
Yeah, well, as we all know, it's not the deepest draft, like you just said. Last year, we had a Lafreniere potentially in the first round, first overall. You had, of course, a Quinton Byfield, and then obviously Tim Stützle. So this year, there's options. The consensus number one pick right now is Owen Power, and he's a great defender. He's currently on Team Canada. And Team Canada, actually, hey, shout out to them. They started off the season terribly, or like the championship terribly. They lost their first 4 games. They won their last 4, and they're off to the quarterfinals, beating the odds against, I think, the Russian athletes. They're not technically Russia because of that doping scandal, but the Russian athletes, whatever they want to call it. So Artem Zub versus Connor Brown, JBD, and Nick Paul should be interesting. But Noah, Ottawa tonight, the draft, they changed the draft lottery, the way it works again. And by the way, I see all you guys in the chat. Do not worry. Parker Linds, let's go, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Everyone here, everyone, Nick, everyone, thank you so much. Phipps, how are you guys doing? But tonight, I'm going to show you guys what it potentially can look like for Ottawa, what the odds are looking like for Ottawa anyways. Courtesy of our friend over at Everyday Sens. Great work. If you don't follow them, make sure to follow them. But here's a graphic they made, like usual, great graphic. And as you can see here, Ottawa has a 9.8% chance for a top 2 pick, as you can see, if you add the number 1 and 2% together. The best odds Ottawa has is unfortunately staying at number 10, which is not bad. Hey, you could get a McTavish, for example, a good right-wing guy who played well at the under-18 tournament for Team Canada. But there's also a pretty good chance Ottawa falls back. If two teams go ahead of the Ottawa Senators in this year's draft, Ottawa will fall back 2 spots. So be on the lookout in the first 4 to 6 selections, however many teams are in the draw. I don't really know. But if two teams drop, if two teams go ahead of Ottawa, Ottawa will drop 2 spots. So be on the lookout early, because if we'll know pretty basically at the beginning whether or not Ottawa has a shot at anything. We'll have to keep an eye on a team like Philadelphia, for example. Like these late teams, Noah. We always see in these draft lotteries, these teams sneak out of nowhere and get a top pick. So are you expecting any type of? You can't obviously predict because who knows? It's a lottery. But do you think that there could be another wild card team coming out of nowhere and stealing another top pick?
Yeah, you always can think that. I'm just gonna say that a bottom like 3 or 4 team is gonna get it. I just see realistically. I don't want to listen. You can't predict this kind of stuff. It's literally just chance. But listen, 67% that they get to 10th, and 21.8% that they're at 11th. Those two, that's 89% total. That's pretty good chances.
Well, I'm seeing in the chat a lot of comments, some Lysell talk, some Bernier's talk, some Clark talk, not a lot of Owen Power talk. Listen, Ottawa, like we just showed, the odds are either we're sliding back, we're staying. The odds really are we're staying in our spot. It's almost 70% chance we're staying at 10th overall. So in a position like that, you're looking at a McTavish, for example, and I'll pull up his stats here because Ottawa right now, all they really need, and shout out Aaron Clark for No Luden Stonks are up. Let's go. Sure. You already know that's the next big thing on YouTube. But there we go. We got some Owen Power comments in the chat. But McTavish is the player that a lot of Sens fans are looking at right now because Ottawa, like I just said, is not going to be likely in the top 2. So Mason McTavish, I believe is his name. Let's pull it up. Yeah, it is. So this kid, like I said, played for Team Canada, I believe, with the under-18s. Good right-wing prospect, I'm pretty sure. And, Ottawa doesn't really have too many needs. But right-wing and goaltending is definitely one of them. So, Noah, if Ottawa falls to 10, are you looking more at a defender, or are you looking more at a right winger?
I would probably say that I'm looking at a defender. I feel like there's a lot more question marks around the defense core. Last year we were talking, oh, maybe Wolanin might be a guy. He's gone. Brandstrom, you don't really know what's going on with his development. You don't know how long Victor Mete is going to be a part of the team. He hasn't signed a contract yet. He probably will, but you don't know when. You don't know how long it'll take for guys like JBD or anyone like that to really make an impact on the Sens roster.
Well, do you think JBD will be playing in Belleville next year?
I think there's a shot that he starts there, but I think he could definitely be in the NHL, but I don't think he's going to be an all-star superstar first year, second year in the league. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to take a little bit of time. But that's two defensemen. It's Shabbat. Really, the two guys that we know are going to be phenomenal. You got Shabbat. You got JBD. We have other guys. We have Zub, the third and fourth guys. I think that it's always good to have an extra defenseman more than anything. It's probably honestly, in my opinion, it's the most important position in the league. And I think that Ottawa has an abundance of forwards. There's a lot of forwards that they're even in the AHL that they're not even using that realistically are pretty solid prospects. Like you have Logan Brown still down there, and realistically,
but Logan for Brown, other teams. Here's the thing with Logan Brown and Jacob Bernard-Docker. I'll disagree with you on the Jacob Bernard-Docker thing because I don't think Ottawa can really bring in a high talent right-handed defenseman right now. If you look at the right side, you're looking at Zaitsev, you're looking, and then JBD, and then Josh Brown. So even if the Senators bring in a top four right-handed defenseman, you still have to fill that third slot. And I don't think Ottawa would rather have Josh Brown there instead of a Jacob Bernard-Docker, who, in my opinion, played pretty well in 5 games with the Ottawa Senators and a short stints with the Senators, but played pretty well in those short stints. And with Team Canada has looked solid against some of the, I don't want to say better, but some tough competition.
It's good competition still.
It's not easy competition for any player. So I think Jacob Bernard-Docker as a two-way player can really drive the game. And as Benkovsky said, go blue. I'm a Syracuse fan, but Owen Power, he's good. And I think if you look at that right side, Ottawa clearly needs a defender. And Owen Power, I think, is a guy. If Ottawa gets first overall, Ottawa will be very thrilled to have on the team. Now, as we all know, and I made this joke at the beginning of the stream, a couple of years ago when I found out Ottawa had a top 3 pick, I got a little excited. It's a top 3 pick. I got a little excited. Today with a 70% chance, 10 overall. I can't promise you I will provide some meme material again. However, we'll give you some great commentary and great insight as always here at Sens Talk. Now, as well, I wanted to mention is we got like 50 something people in the stream here before we get it going. I'm going to take a bit of a break after this stream, a few days off. No more than a few days off, like 3-4 days. I got to do some stuff, and I also want to take a break. I've been uploading videos for about a year straight now, and I think I deserve a few minutes off. What about you, Noah?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. Listen, it's the off season. Ottawa's not in the playoffs. Really, free agency is not going to start for a while. The draft isn't going to be for a while. Other than the draft lottery and maybe a couple extensions here, there's not going to be months and months worth of insane Ottawa Senators content. So obviously, a couple of days off never hurt.
And we'll be back. We'll be back at the beginning of next week for sure with a banger video, probably Sens weekly update. But appreciate it, Aaron. Yeah, you already know. You guys know, like, it's every single day. It's a complete grind. We got so much fun stuff coming up behind the scenes, some great sponsors potentially. We're going to get you some great beer company sponsors and discounts and some stuff. We have some great stuff coming along. Noah's going to potentially have a new show here soon. A lot of new live content on the way. We'll see. But there's a lot of great stuff coming on. So I'm appreciative of 45, 50 people already being here. And when Ottawa, hopefully, knock on wood, gets the first overall selection, we're going to have a lot to talk about there. Now, speaking of that, I want to talk about Mason McTavish, who we were about to talk about. Then I went on another tangent as usual. Now, Mason McTavish is a guy, Derek Lee, friend of the show, shout out to him, great guy, is a fan of. He was really pumping his tires during that under-18 tournament with Team Canada. And as you can see here, 11 points in 7 games. This is the reason why he was pumping his tires. Now, you can see he's a local kid from Ottawa, so there's already that connection. As we all know, since the Senators management loves to have local talent. So Noah, listen, a right wing, I think that'd be great. The defenseman, I think would be great. But I think a Mason McTavish is a type of guy that we have to look at because he's a local kid. He fills the requirement of need, and he's in the area where Ottawa likely will end up. Now, speaking of ending up, I'll do this. The draft lottery seems to be starting much sooner than I thought it would be. So what I'm gonna do is let's do the tankathon, okay? Let's see. I'm gonna turn off Elliot Freeman's tweet notifications too, so I don't get it spoiled. I want to only real.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna be looking.
Hold on, just need to check on the chat. No, it has not started yet. It's starting soon, but we got the tankathon. Shout out to Tankathon, great site, and we're gonna see where the balls land for us. I've done one, draft lottery like simulation. The whole entire, the whole entire year. And it ended up being second overall for the Ottawa Senators. So,
Dude, Arizona, that's so sad. Not sad, it's depressing.
They're trash.
Oh my
they're
God,
trash.
that's just unreal.
It's just a terrible the stuff that happened this year with that organization.
Oh yeah.
Not ideal. Now, as you can see, Buffalo, I think we all can agree we don't want to see a team in the organization in the same division get a top draft pick, but Buffalo kind of has gone through hell, and I think that fan base deserves a little bit of optimism. Seattle, if they get the first overall pick, I'm sure a lot of hockey fans will have opinions on that. And screw the Ducks. We don't want to see them win. New Jersey, honestly, New Jersey or Columbus, those are teams I would like to see because they just can't catch a break either. Buffalo, New Jersey, Columbus.
Detroit.
But without Detroit, no. They've had enough.
Come on.
They can tank.
We need another 23 years or whatever it is. Come on.
So you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's see.
Where do you think Ottawa's going to go before I press the button?
10th.
10th? Let's see. I think like I'm feeling number 1. I don't know why. Why is it not going? All right, here we go. Second again. All right.
Oh, we got second.
I'll take number 2, ladies.
All right.
I'll take number 2.
Yeah.
And
nice little win.
Let's do it 3 times.
It's crazy because when you look between Ottawa and the rest of these bottom teams, they had such a good record compared to all these other teams in the last 10 games of that. It really just showed that they were actually a lot better.
Yeah. And
really,
honestly, they really came down like in the last the beginning of the year. They were 2-12-1 Ottawa, and when the season ended, they were 21-16-2 or something like that. They really they really flipped the script in the second half of the season. However, I don't think it will happen, but we have to look out for sophomore slumps. Like Josh Norris, I think he will continue to progress, but hey, we've seen it happen before, players regressing, and that doesn't mean they're going to never get back to form. It just means, hey, they had a great first season, and struggles are bound to happen. That's just the way it works in hockey and really any sport. So, you got to be on the lookout for that. It is a young team, and we have to be understanding of that. So any top draft pick, it's definitely welcomed right now because this team, I think, has a great future and a great immediate future. But it never hurts to add more to the stockpile of draft picks, right?
Oh, always. It doesn't, realistically, for a second, it doesn't matter if they pick a forward or a defenseman. Realistically, they're both going to be great additions to the team regardless. I'm just, if they get second overall or first overall, I'll be happy. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking for Owen Power, for Beniers, or for Brant Clark.
Yeah.
One of them is going to be on the team, and that's just extra reinforcement for the position that they play.
And hey, you know what? There's the interesting thing about this draft, what's coming up in this draft anyways, is the fact that there is a lot of depth. There's no surefire superstar. Maybe Owen Power would be the closest to that, and I think many would agree that he is the best player in the draft. But there's really there's a good wide range of depth in the draft selection. So the top 10, a lot of the players outside of the top 2, I would say, are pretty even. So Ottawa's going to get a good player no matter what, and I think that's pretty beneficial to Ottawa because, like we just said, they really finish off the season strong. Now, I do want to bring up this because we got a little bit until the draft start. So ask your questions in the comment section. I got like 60 people here right now in the stream, and I want to answer your questions. So before this starts, Noah, hey, Noah, host of Sens Stonks, will answer your questions too. And also, let us know in the chat box how much you've loved Sens Stonks. We've gotten a lot of great feedback for that. It will be returning next year, better than ever. The stonks for the show are going up.
Oh yeah.
And the future's pretty bright, huh?
Oh yeah, the future's bright. We'll definitely be back for another season. It's exciting. It's gonna be a good season next year. I'm hoping for Ottawa.
Why don't you tell the people about where they can find you on twitch.tv?
You can find me on. Firstly, I'll plug the Twitter. My Twitter is at Noah_Luden. Of course, I will. That's
good.
right. And on Twitch, it's at Cankles Cankles III. Live streaming there almost every night. It's a little bit something I do on the side, but I appreciate any follows and stuff there.
So a few questions in. Firstly, Brady, your choice for next captain? Yeah. Okay, we agree on that. Who will win a cup first, Canucks or Habs? I would say Canucks. I don't trust Marc Bergevin. I don't trust Dominique Ducharme. They need new management. They're not winning a cup with that management. Carey Price can always prove me wrong single-handedly. We've seen what he can do. I think Noah would agree.
Yeah.
But with that management, it's going to take a Cinderella run, in my opinion, to win a cup.
The other thing is that eventually...
And, hey, Jim Betting, by the way, Jim Betting ain't any better, but they got a better...
No.
They got a better...
They have a better core, and the thing is, Carey Price is getting towards the end. It's... What is he, 32, 33 years old? The time for the Habs, if it's not this year, if they, fizzle out in the second round, I think they gotta go for it, honestly, because you're gonna be looking to save guys like Bergevin, Ducharme's jobs, really, and Carey Price. It's the last time he can really use playoff Price, so you really gotta go for it.
Now I'm seeing some talk about Brady Tkachuk capable of being the best power forward in the league. I think he definitely has that potential. Will he? We'll see. There's not many other forwards like a Brady Tkachuk, so I think he's sort of just. I think the lottery ball. I think the cards are here, so we're gonna stop the questions. We'll get to that post stream, but I think we're about to start. So chat, I'm not looking at you, so don't even try to spoil it. And here we go. So let's see what happens.
I don't have it up, so you're gonna have to just let me know when you see it.
What? Want me to tell you like what happens?
Yeah, just tell me each pick.
I got you.
I don't even have it up.
So picks 15 through 8 are going to be announced right now. So we're about to find out if Ottawa's going to get a top 2 pick, essentially. Right. So if you're watching, you're here at the right time. Congratulations. 15th overall.
Not Ottawa.
The Rangers get the 15th overall selection. That's an interesting situation there. We'll talk about that after New York. A lot of crazy stuff going on there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after Tom Wilson. I'm not even going to get into that.
That's just a crazy situation, actually, what happened with them.
He's a goof. 14th overall. The Dallas Stars get 14th. Too bad for Dallas this season. They had a great run a couple of years ago, and injuries really killed them. COVID really killed them, but they're going to be back. They'll be back, I think.
We gotta look for who's supposed to be there and who actually moves up.
They just need more forwards. 13th. So Ottawa, I think it slides to 12, not 13. We'll see. 13th, though. Philadelphia Flyers get 13th. So now Ottawa could fall to 12th. So let's see. Ottawa is potentially able to fall to 12th here. So let's see what happens. But yeah.
It won't even be the end of the world, honestly. But
yeah,
you'd rather not. You'd rather not.
I'm not going to cry, but
yeah.
12th overall. Here we go. Calgary gets 12th. Okay. Right. Okay, so right. We're still in the game, baby. We're still in the game.
All right.
We're still in the game. All right, 11th overall coming up. It's supposed to be Chicago. Could be Ottawa. Ottawa
could
the
fall.
4th most best odds for Ottawa. 11th overall. Let's see. Chicago. Okay. So Ottawa at least has a top 10 pick.
We have a top 10 pick. That's solid.
That's pretty solid for the brand.
This is what you want. But now, if we get no announcement, if we get no Ottawa, we're good.
We're in the top 2, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Top 10, number 10. Let's see. Ottawa gets a 10th overall.
Damn. All right.
Oh, that's solid. That's solid. Ottawa has a lot of options at the 10th overall selection spot. You get a Mason McTavish. You can look even a Johnson can fall down there, the defenseman.
Yeah.
So Ottawa's not in a bad spot here, getting the 10th overall pick. and there's a lot that Ottawa can do with that.
And there's obviously it's not like they're a team that's starting their rebuild. It's not like they needed this to happen. They're pretty far ahead. They've accelerated through the rebuild, honestly, with how they played towards the end of the year. So really, it's just another reinforcement. I'm okay with it.
And by the way, Vancouver just got the 9th overall pick. So everything's really going in order here. So
far, this is good. I like it like this.
Yeah, it's fast. 8th overall to the Kings. So everything's in order. Nothing crazy yet.
And realistically, I just wanted to say I like when the bad teams get the first overall. I hated it when like Philadelphia went from like 14th to 2nd to getting like Nolan Patrick, whenever that was. Like that was bad.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, you cut out.
When the Flyers went from 14th to 2nd to get like Nolan Patrick.
Oh,
I don't like when those happen. You need like the bad teams to get the good picks, you know?
By the way, the Sharks just went 7th overall.
Oh, they're just announcing them all.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, they're probably going to stop at like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
6th overall selection in the 2021 NHL draft.
6.
The Detroit Red Wings.
Detroit gets the 6th overall
They didn't
pick.
win it. Wow.
So everything's really just going into play here. Like
maybe it is Buffalo.
By the way, we will get to your comments in the chat. Everything we're gonna have like pretty interactive conversation after the lottery because it's gonna be over soon. 5th overall. Let's see. Columbus gets 5th overall. Did they jump? I think they're Jarmo Kekalainen or whatever his name. Sorry if I butchered that name. But I'm pretty sure he just swore reacting to 5th overall.
But everything's still been in order, right?
Yeah. It appears so. Number 4. This is where stuff can get crazy. New Jersey. Everything's in order. So
it's Buffalo.
Buffalo, Seattle, and Anaheim.
No. Please not Seattle. I can't take it if it's Seattle.
I don't care personally, but because like it does make sense for an expansion team to have a top draft pick.
They're gonna have they're gonna have top 3. That's what they deserve. They don't need number 1.
If they make a miraculous playoff run next year, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I think everyone's gonna be calling the NHL rigged if Seattle gets it. I'll be honest.
And we're going to the chat, not to the chat. We're going to commercial break.
Commercial.
So yeah, we got some comments in here. Listen, Ottawa. Hey, no, there's no top 3 pick reaction today, but no. Top 10 is solid. And we'll take a look at the draft potentials for Ottawa at 10th after the draft lottery is done. But Noah, how are we feeling so far? Everything is in order. Nothing crazy so far.
Yeah, I think so far so good. Listen, I didn't expect Ottawa to win. I said they were going to get 10th. They got 10th. It was the best odds. If that was really what was going to happen. But in terms of not Ottawa, you know, I just personally believe that if you're an expansion team, you got to like build something up from scratch. And I think if Seattle gets the first overall pick, it's a little bit suspect to me. But listen, I like when Vegas came in the league, I was not a fan of them having the first overall pick or whatever, and them getting all the advantages that they had in terms of the expansion draft. Now Vegas doesn't even have to lose a player, which is another whole conversation. But you know, if Seattle gets 3rd, that's fine. They get the 3rd best player. I think it should just be Buffalo and
the Ducks.
The Ducks, yeah, they both suck.
What's interesting about the Ducks, they're talking about making a big swing in the offseason for a big name that Brady brought in. So, you know, the Ducks are they're in a top 3 option, but that team I think they need to blow it up in my opinion. They're not going to win a Stanley Cup without
realistically. They're already like halfway there. They've lost like their Corey Perry's and Ryan Miller's retiring, and I'm just curious what they do with John Gibson. Are they going to trade him in this big blow up, or is he going to go? He's going to go for a lot of compensation if you're really thinking about a ground up rebuild. That would be interesting for sure.
Well, we'll see. I think there's a very good chance that Seattle gets the first overall pick. I just have that feeling.
I have that feeling too. It's just, you know.
And if anyone says it's rigged,
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't. If Seattle wins, everyone's gonna say it.
Yeah, they'll say it, but they record the lottery, so it's not gonna be rigged. It's gonna be questionable. But listen, the NHL, it's a multi-billion-dollar league. There's no riggedness going on in the lottery.
No.
There's no way any team would allow that, let alone there's no grand conspiracy against your team There's
How do
no
you think
conspiracy.
Buffalo would feel or Anaheim would feel if
Well,
that
Buffalo
actually was the
got
case?
kicked in the nuts throughout the entire year, so it's just another day in the park, walk in the park for them. Anaheim, like I said, top 3. I think that they should just be happy with the top 3 pick regardless.
Oh, all those teams should be happy with the top 3. Realistically, Anaheim
Not
had a
Buffalo,
chance
no.
to
Buffalo
Buffalo,
deserves first overall.
but Anaheim had a chance to fall down to 4 or 5.
Can we talk about the laughs? How they just completely just choked away that game and that series.
Oh yeah.
5 straight years.
You know,
5
Toronto,
straight years.
it's a
Wow.
grind for Toronto. I don't know how
A
they
grind. No, it's embarrassing.
do it. It's
All
a
the
grind. They got to keep going, Toronto. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that they do like something. I don't think that they should do something big. Like as a hockey fan, unbiased edition, I don't think that they should be doing anything crazy. But
I have a feeling.
as a Sens fan, I want them to trade everyone. See you later, Matthews, Arizona.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Third overall coming up.
Number 3 overall selection in the 2021 NHL draft.
Yeah, I don't.
The Ducks get third, so Seattle and Buffalo are in the top 2.
Oh, I thought I heard Seattle. Oh no, the Ducks get third.
Little fist bump.
No, I thought I heard Seattle cracking. Oh,
And for the people asking, yeah, Seattle just moved up because of that. And for the people asking in the chat, yeah, Ottawa just got the 10th overall pick. All right. I like Seattle's jerseys, I won't lie. First overall pick, here we go. Who has the first overall pick? Oh, God.
The 2021 draft lottery is the Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo,
Yes,
okay.
There we go.
Universe
There we
restored.
go. All right, they deserve
Universe
it.
has been restored. Okay.
They deserve it. They deserve it, honestly. Owen Power, welcome to hell.
Yeah, pray for him. Pray for him. Pray for him.
God,
But
they
good
get
for
an
the fans of Buffalo.
electrifying player. Seattle
Seattle
gets
deserve
an,
it.
Seattle
fans
gets
of
an
Buffalo
electrifying
deserve it.
player.
The fans in Buffalo deserve this. I am
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
They 100% deserve it. So Ottawa, the draft order is Buffalo, Seattle, Anaheim, Columbus, Detroit. I'll just redo it again. I'll give you the rankings. So at 15th overall, it's the Rangers. 14th overall, it's the Dallas Stars. 13th overall, it's the Philadelphia Flyers. 12th overall, it's the Calgary Flames. 11th overall, it's the Chicago Blackhawks. At number 10, it's your Ottawa Sounders. At number 9, it's the Canucks. At 8, it's the Kings. At 7, it's San Jose. Thanks again for Tim Stutzla, by the way, San Jose. Number 6, it's Detroit. Number 5, it's Columbus. Number 4, it's the Devils. Number 3, it's the Quack Quacks. Number 2, it's the Kraken. And number 1, it is the Buffalo Sabres with the rights to draft whoever they would please at number 1. So speaking of that, Noah, let's start talking about that 10th overall pick. I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat box. Ask your questions. Noah will start answering them while I do a bit of research and get you some stats about some prospective players to be selected by Ottawa at 10th overall. So ask your questions in the chat box. Send Stonks host Noah Luden will be answering those for you.
Thoughts and prayers, Owen Power. Buffalo will kill Owen Power. Poor Owen Power. Oh man, they do not have confidence in Buffalo, and I don't blame them. Buffalo has ruined Jack and Rasmus, so now add Power to the list. More like Owen week because of he's gonna be playing on Buffalo. That's unfortunate, but oh, man.
I see a lot of people saying they feel bad for this
A lot of people are not happy. Man, it's just Buffalo is killing players. It's just their performance has just not been good, and they ruin all optimism of any fans at all. And it's going to be interesting.
By the way,
rigged. Okay, it's not rigged.
It's not rigged.
It's rigged.
Not rigged. But Noah, by the way, while you're doing that, I'm just going to let you know I'm going to open up a few profiles for a few players. Okay.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Gunther will not be at Ottawa at number 10. So
Nah, he won't fall that far. He's going to
Brent Clark, maybe.
Middle. Nah, I'd say he's going to be taken.
He might be. Hey, you never know.
You never know, though.
I'll open his.
What contracts do you think Brady and Batherson are going to nab? Honestly, I want to say that Brady's going to sign that big long-term extension. I don't have confidence, but, we'll see. I want to see Brady get like an 8x8, 8x9, and whatever the heck he wants. He can get it, honestly. He deserves it. Batherson, I think, is going to get like a moderated bridge probably, because if he has another really good year and goes up and up and up, then he'll be getting a big payday, and that's really what he's looking for. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be shocked to see him getting a 2, 3, 4 year deal anywhere really in there, probably in the realm of anywhere like $3 to $4.5 million per year. That's just like my ballpark guess. Brady, I if it's a long-term extension, I'd say 8x9, 8x8. But if it's a bridge, I wouldn't be shocked if it's a 2x7 or
All right.
like that.
So I got some stuff here, and I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm not exactly a pro on the draft from this year, because like Noah and I said many times throughout this year, throughout this stream, anyways. It's not the deepest draft, but as you can see here, Owen Powers, consensus number 1 selection, according to. This is just North American skaters. All right, pardon me, I'm pretty stupid. Just give me half a second as I get the European skaters too.
Holy cow, he's massive. I didn't realize Owen Powers, 6'6", 213.
Yeah, I was wondering where Eklund was and stuff. Like, what was going on? I was like, where are these guys?
Unreal. But man.
Why does it do that? That's so stupid. All right, let's
Taylor Hall did what was intended for Buffalo. Yeah, they had Taylor Hall this year. That's all they needed to win the lottery. There it is.
Taylor, yeah, that's true. I'll just pull up the NHL Draft Center on
Yeah, you never know who we get at 10th, and it's going to be interesting as a fan of a team that's, already on the rise. It's not like they just traded everyone like a few years ago, like when we drafted Kachuk or even when we drafted Stutzel. We're a decent team now. We're trending in the right direction. Let's see who we can add to this already good team. But they didn't get 1 or 2. You didn't expect them to in the end of the day. Who knows? But I'm okay with 10. 10 is definitely fine with me.
I'm just trying to find a good okay, here. I got Elite Prospects top 32. We'll do that. Elite Prospects is a pretty trustworthy source. So
I would say as well. Elite Prospects is definitely worth
I'm going to throw it up on the screen. Get your chat comments in because I'm going to take another 10 seconds after showing you guys. But look, so like I said, Bernier's, according to them, Benier could go first overall. Eklund, Clark, Owen Power. This is pretty controversial. What I will say, though, is look, if a Gunther is there, if a Ken Johnson is there, a Luke Hughes is there, I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, if they're there, Ottawa definitely has to be all over that. I'm going to pull up another one, Dober Prospects. That one's better because that was a wild ranking right there. I'm not down to have that on my screen. That just didn't really seem to make sense to me. Oh, this is what I'm saying. Every single draft order
is different.
Like ranking, it's different. That's how deep the
that's why it's not Owen Power. It's not like Owen Power is the consensus number 1. Owen Power people think that he's number 1 for this specific list. It's interesting, but
what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up some of these players. We're going to take a look at them because these are the players that Ottawa can select. So is Olofsson opened up? No, open them. All right, and Robertson good. All right, yeah, I may crash my computer. It's but the flame. So the first player, Brant Clark, listen, defenseman. This guy can go as high as 2, as low as 7 or 8, and you never know. With a couple of crazy picks in the top 5, he can fall to 10th. So it's unlikely Ottawa gets him, but if Ottawa does, they're getting a local kid. Another local kid, shout out to the Nepean Raiders. A lot of local kids in this draft, apparently. Ottawa, listen, another defenseman would be great. And hey, decent stats, 113 points, 73 games for GTHL, which I'm pretty sure it's a pretty good league for that age. So the kid's clearly got a little bit of skill. Look, he played in Slovakia, 15 points, 26 games. In defense, it's not all about the points, but if you're putting up points as a defender at 6'2", he's from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, so a local kid. So Graham Clark's, shout out Ottawa 67's forward. But listen, he's a dynamic offensive player, I'm pretty sure, and there's a pretty good chance he can be taken by Ottawa. What do you think about him?
I just don't think he's going to fall there, but if he does, I don't see why Ottawa wouldn't pick him up, honestly.
I'm just going to pull up Mason McTavish, too. Where is he on this list? I'll just get this off. I'll let you check the chat again. Ooh, I'm seeing some Zub stuff, some Zooby Zoop. I love the Zoob.
Zub's always fun to see. He's awesome.
Where is...
Yeah, I have confidence in the scouting team, Pierre Dorian.
How the hell does this draft ranking have Mason McTavish at 39th? I mean, at 29th. Anyways, all right. So we're going to take a look at the next player now. Mason McTavish. This is the kid that I think Ottawa has a really good shot at taking. He had a breakout year this year. He really climbed a lot of draft boards. As you can see here, look, he at some draft odds have him high as like 5th. Some others have him at the last pick in the draft. So, Ottawa, I think there's a really good chance Ottawa can get this kid. So Noah, I know you said you would prefer a defenseman, but if you got a Mason McTavish, would you be pretty happy about that?
Of course, yeah. I listen with 10th overall, you're getting a good player. It's not like Ottawa has many positional needs. It's just a lot of those players are young. Their goalies are young relatively. Their defense are young. Their forwards are young. So adding another young, regardless of what it is, I'm okay with either of it. But I would just say I'd rather a defenseman. But that being said, if we get a forward, it'll be just as fine.
Fair enough. We're gonna move it on now to another winger, Simon Robertson, right winger, 6 foot, 190 pounds. He's a big bone guy. He's 18, born 2003, making me feel pretty old. It's kind of crazy that these kids are younger than you and I, but that's a story for another day. But he's here's some of the scouting reports. A dangerous winger with a good shot, good forechecking game. As you can see, big bone guy, big guy, 190 pounds. So he's definitely a good power forward. I would assume power right wing, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know much about a guy like this, but he looks like a little bit of a reach, just by the eye test. Yeah. But I listen again. I have full confidence in Pierre Dorion. I have full confidence in the scouting staff that they can find the right guy.
Well, Ken Johnson's the type of guy that can be taken at 5, can fall all the way to 8th, 9th, or 10th. And Ottawa, hey, listen, Ottawa is definitely not in exactly a position to not take a risk at moving up a couple spots to take Ken Johnson, for example. I think a lot of Sens fans would be happy to get a kid like Ken Johnson on their team. This season with the University of Michigan, of course, Owen Power had a great year, but Ken Johnson had a fantastic year too for the Blue. So you can see 101 points in the BCHL the year prior, and 27 points in your your freshman year in university. That's very good. So Ken Johnson, as you can see here, he could be taken number 10 according to Elite Prospects and Dover Prospects. So and Smat Scouting. Smat Scouting. So Ken Johnson's a really good player. I heard about this kid, and I think Ottawa definitely has a shot taking him there at 10. What about you?
Yeah, I think they could. He definitely looks good. Obviously getting a point per game in his freshman year, more than a point per game in his freshman year is always nice. Again, we'll see. Again, it's interesting this draft because the Sens don't have a particular draft need this year, so they kind of can just take the best player available, which hasn't been the case for Ottawa for a little bit. So I'm interested to see what they do.
Well, it's also interesting. Because, like you just said, Ottawa doesn't really have any crazy need right now. They need a right-handed defenseman, but not a prospect. They need, a legitimate top 4 guy. But Ottawa, the only real need they need in the entire prospect pool is more right wing depth. And look, Dylan Gunthier, I do not expect him to be at number 10. I think this kid will be taking the top 7. He's the best right winger in the draft, in my opinion. And listen, Recruit Scouting has him at number 10. A couple of guys have him around top 10, but I don't think he falls to number 10. This guy has a pure release. I know this kid very well. This is the kid, if Ottawa would have been able to move in the top 7 or 8, but they changed the draft rules this year. But if Ottawa would have been able to move into that part of the draft lottery, this is a kid Ottawa really, really would have been excited to draft. And there's still a chance they can take him, but the odds are they don't. But I think this could be the best right winger in the draft as of right now. Talent-wise, and I think we've identified that Ottawa just needs a little more depth on the defense and right wing, and Dylan Gunthier definitely can do the job there. What do you think about him?
Yeah, he's just another guy who Ottawa's not going to be able to get. I think just because he'll be taken 5th, 6th, 7th, but there's always someone who falls in the draft. You never know who's it going to be this year.
Well, here's a kid named Cole Sillinger, and I'm going to be honest with you, Noah and I, we have a lot of content to come up very soon for you guys. Like I just said at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to take a few days off for a break. But as we know, I can't stop uploading. I'm like addicted to uploading, and you guys love and appreciate the videos. So I'm very excited to make the videos for you guys without a problem. And with us now knowing the number 10, stay tuned for a lot of draft coverage in the near future. I think the draft is July 23rd, 24th, something like that, late July. And we'll have a lot of content coming up. And of course, we'll have a draft night live stream too, because why not? Now, this kid, Cole Sillinger, listen, this is the type of kid that Ottawa fully could be drafting. He's ranked below 10 in every single scouting except NHL Central scouting for North American skaters. This kid is a kid that I see Ottawa taking potentially. USHL this year, 46 points, 31 games played. Even stat line, 22 assists and 24 goals. So he passes the puck decently according to his stats anyways.
Yeah.
So listen, for Ottawa, an 18-year-old, a center, 201 pounds, big center, strong-bodied center. You can always move Colin White or even him or really Greg to the wing. But listen, he is a left-hander though, so I don't know if Ottawa selects him, but hey, there's definitely a shot they take him, and I think, like I said with the other picks, there's a lot of decent depth here.
Yeah, there's a good amount of depth, I'd say. In all positions, really. That's what's good about this draft. It's not like you're getting the next McDavid and Matthews, but you're getting a lot of solid players who will be in the league for a long time.
Now, the next one, it is Oscar Olesen on November 10th, 2002, a few days off of my birthday. So shout out to this guy. Now, he's all over the board here. Some draft ranking people have him as high as 12th. Smat Hockey, Smat Scouting has him at number 12. Others have him all the way down at 48. So this seems to be like a boomer bust type of pick. And I'm only bringing it up here because, look, if it's the requirement, left wing and right wing. So at the end of the day, we looked at the players, and I think it's safe to say there's no one outstanding, but you're going to get a solid player here at number 10, I think.
For sure.
Now, Noah, tonight, Ottawa, 10th overall, pretty good. But we got second round playoff hockey that I want to talk about a little bit before we sign off here. We're only running about 45 minutes in, so we'll stay alive for another 10-15 minutes maybe. But no, I want to hear what you have to say about the Leafs. I want to hear what Sens Stonks host Noah Luden has to say about the Leafs, their terrible collapse, and the fact they have lost 5 straight years in the first round.
God, that's wrong way, please, sir. There's something else. As a fan of just hockey in general, I just want to see them finally break through. Like, as someone who picked them in their bracket, who picks them in their bracket almost every year, because I just feel like, oh, this is the team. No, this is the team. They have TJ Brody and Muzzin, and this is the team. They just never cease to amaze me. I honestly had no confidence in Montreal. I was thinking 5 this series was going to end. It was looking like that for a little bit, and I was thinking 6. Oh my God, there's no way that they send it to 7. They send it to 7. But okay, Toronto's the better team. They're gonna smack them around. That's what I said on Twitter. And it was just Montreal all the way. I think that there's a lot of Leafs fans who don't like Marner because of he had a bad series. Realistically, Marner did. I think there's a lot of guys who are mad at Matthews.
Terrible. Him too.
Mad at there's some other guys as well, like a Dermott or whatever. I think that making a bunch of big moves, it's not a once in a lifetime, but it's once in a while that you get a core that you have right now. You have Matthews, you have Marner, Nylander, Riley. This is a good core of young players who are still before or in their prime. I can't see any of them going. I think it's a little silly this isn't GM mode and in the video game. This is real life hockey. I can't see Mitch Marner going. I can't see Matthews going, obviously. Tavares is staying right where he is. Nylander, he's fine. Like, they're all going to stay. They got to sign Campbell. All right, at least extend them. Anderson's probably going to go. That makes sense because Campbell seems to be the number one guy. Some depth signings they have to make on the forward and defense. They got to make sure that they get the right depth, not just, some old guys want to win the cup. Let's sign them on, but some actual quality depth here, not like a Wayne Simmons and a Joe Thornton who had moments but didn't really excel.
Well, I'll say this about Toronto. today, their president, Brendan Shanahan, spoke, and he said very simply that he has basically full trust in Sheldon Keefe and Kyle Dubas to do their jobs. So their jobs are secure. He basically endorsed them today. So that puts it out of the window of there potentially being a coach fire.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah.
You can't be
So now-
firing a coach
so
every
now-
year.
So now, with the Leafs, you're not going to fire your coach. You're not going to fire your general manager because he's put together a good team. Kyle Dubas put together a good team this year. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. The management did all they could to put a Stanley Cup roster. You put a Jason Spezza in the bottom 6. You have a Joe Thornton there, one of the best passers of our generation. You know, you got great talent in supposed great talent anyways in Matthews and Marner who didn't show up. You got William Nylander who really finally pulled through and had a great year in playoff this year. They got some great prospects, not great prospects, sorry. They got a great core there in Toronto. The issue, though, is the mentality in that locker room, the experience in that locker room, and overall the vibes in that locker room are all of losing, of choking, and of failure. And while I don't believe they should make a big change, I think a Marner, a Matthews, I don't think you should trade guys like that because you're not going to get a player like that any single day. And as we've seen from the Leafs, the moment they trade these top type of guys, it always backfires. Look at Raycroft, look at Phil Kessel, look at Sagan. You could go through the whole thing. So Toronto always has issues with these trades. So for Toronto's sake, I don't think they should do anything. But unfortunately, I think they're probably going to make a panic move. They'll probably trade Mitch Marner to free up some cap space. They'll probably bring in another defenseman, and they'll try it again next year. But listen, this team just cannot get past the first round, and they need a culture change because, honestly, they're making 4 players making $40 million. They're at 81, just under $82 million in the cap space or the cap hit, and there's no excuses whatsoever for why Toronto should not be playing hockey right now in Winnipeg. Or in Toronto, I guess, against Winnipeg. But the Winnipeg game is about to start. So, Noah, do you have any final thoughts on the draft, how it went, and are you fired up for July 23rd for the real draft?
I'll be excited for the draft. I'm curious who Buffalo takes out 1. Not really. You know, this isn't like last year where like, oh my God, it's going to be Byfield or Stutzel or Byfield or so. We can sit back a little bit, see who Ottawa takes. There's no real bad pick for Ottawa to make here. It'll be a good forward, a good defenseman. I think Ottawa will be okay. I'm going to be interested to see what all the other teams do, though. A lot of those rebuilding teams. Yeah. But 10th pick, it's what we expected. That's what we're supposed to get. So it's fine. We got that. And honestly, I'm just ready for I want to see what Seattle does in the expansion draft. That's what I'm more interested about than the NHL draft itself.
Well, I just saw a question from Steve Nightfall. We'll answer a couple questions here. I'll let you and we'll have a little bit of a debate about Corey Hill's question about who Ottawa will target in free agency. We'll finish off the stream with that, all right? But
sure.
I'll answer Steve's question first. He asked, should the Senators trade for Mitch Marner? And that would be fun if he burned Toronto afterwards with Ottawa. Yeah. Listen, no, I don't think Ottawa will get a Mitch Marner because I don't think Toronto would trade Mitch Marner within the division. That'd just be completely stupid. You're just trying to lose in Game 7 to a Mitch Marner overtime goal in the playoffs. So that's what you're trying to do if you trade him within your own division.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I just want to say Mitch Marner on Ottawa. I would say yes to that. He's a gross player. But Toronto just isn't going to do that. If they trade Marner or any of those guys, he's going to the West, to the Central, out somewhere that the only place that they would play them is in the Stanley Cup Finals. So they're not going to be trading Marner to anywhere. But if they do, it's not going to be Ottawa. Before we get to Corey's question, who do you have in this? What's your bracket looking like? What have you been right about? What have you been right about? What have you been wrong about? I had my not big one because it was a close series. I had Minnesota winning. Really? Over Noah Luden with the hot takes again. I mean, I don't know if it's a hot take. It was a 50-50. Like Vegas, everyone says it's a good team, but I mean, listen, it went 7, so how bad of a take is it? I had Minnesota in 7, so I was close on that one. I had Colorado in 5. They won in 4 instead. Somebody in the chat just said big tweet from Simmer. I gotta check. Whenever Simmer tweets, I check. I had Carolina. I was right about that. I had Tampa Bay in 6, exactly right on the nose. I said Washington was going to beat Boston, which didn't happen.
Oh, we got something to talk about, and we are not
What?
leaving. Michael
What
Sarr,
do we
thank
have?
you.
What do we have?
Hold on,
What
I
do we
gotta
have?
tweet this out.
I'll just keep on going. I said Pittsburgh was gonna beat the Islanders. I said Toronto was gonna beat the Habs, but I did get Winnipeg over Edmonton. So okay. Well, what happened here? What happened here with Simmer?
I got you in a sec. Just keep on reading the chat. Chat, I got you in a sec. Just thank you, Michael Czar, in the chat box for letting me
Did you
know.
enjoy the Steve Dangle stream? I didn't watch the Steve Dangle stream. I watched his video after the game, but like everyone does. But I didn't watch the stream. I had I was just watching the game on my own.
I'm gonna pull it up on the. Okay.
All right.
Now I do want to preface this. I have all the respect in the world for the work that Sean Simpson does.
Oh man.
But it is important to mention a couple of years ago when Eric Carlson was still on the Ottawa Senators, he did in the summer announce that he was going to be traded. I believe it was to it was Tampa Bay or Dallas, right? It was like Tampa Bay or Vegas. Was it Vegas?
It was Tampa Bay. He said he traded to Tampa Bay for like Sergachev or something.
Regardless, he made
Oh
he made a big statement, a big trade announcement, which of course, as we know now, never came to fruition. So I believe Simmer is a reliable source. Sources sometimes lie. Reporters sometimes get it wrong. It happens. I just wanted to mention that so I don't get it in my own mentions. Why are you showing false information? I'm not. Simmer is a reliable source, but of course, take everything with a grain of salt. Now, here's what he said, and we got something to talk about here, Noah. This is big news. My sources tell me the Sens are willing to move up or down or even move the pick. If they move it, they want a player that can make an impact now. They're also confident man will get a great player at number 10. They will not draft for need, but will take the best available player, which is great.
That's
the best part of the video.
That is the exact quote of what I said about 15 minutes ago about Ottawa is in a position where they can take the best player available and have no consequences. And that even shocks me even less that they're willing to move this pick. A lot of teams have needs and very intense needs. Ottawa doesn't.
Yeah.
And Ottawa is in a phenomenal spot. This doesn't shock me in the slightest. They're either going to take the best player available. I don't know about booming up or down, but I think that if they move it for a player, that is where we get to an interesting conversation. Listen, Connor McDavid. I'm kidding, but it would be awesome. It'd be awesome to see Ottawa make a big trade like that. Like a B prospect. The 10th pick, maybe a first next year, get a big player. Who knows?
Well, listen. This is crazy. All right, so Ottawa may move the 10th overall pick. I am fired up for that. Firstly, as everyone here, be here. July 23rd, whatever the draft is, we will be live here for another 4+ hours live draft show. We do it right here at Sens Talk Productions, and we're going to do it right again for this year's draft. And we got some big news here. Now, for Ottawa, what is their what type of impact player are they looking at? Are they looking at a forward? Are they looking at a defenseman? What do you think, Noah? Seth Jones, may I say, potentially?
Oh my God, a Seth Jones. I was literally thinking like, oh man, they're not signing him, are they? If I don't want to say Mitch Marner again, we just talked about him, but I don't think that's going to happen. Listen,
yeah, no, I
it
don't
depends. I think another thing you have to think about of the options is what the divisions are going to be next year. Are they going to be the Canadian division? If it is, a lot of teams close and a lot of teams open up as options. It's not like a team like Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres. They won't be in the same division anymore if it's an all-Canadian division still. It's interesting. I think Seth Jones is a realistic one because they've literally said he has said that he is not signing next year and he is going to be a free agent, which is insane news, by the way, that came out. But I think that's awesome. He's a very good defenseman.
Yeah.
Who can also punch in a couple goals. I'm trying to think of other players across the league who could be available, like an Eichel, but it would cost a lot more, like a Marner, but it would cost a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting too. But if they move up, I don't see them moving up, but I would see them moving down, honestly, because again, they don't need to. They don't need anything. They want to take the best player available.
Honestly, like I said before, if we see like a Ken Johnson, if we see like a Clark at like 7 or 8, I fully can see Ottawa moving up a bit to get the type of prospect because those are top 5 value prospects in my opinion. you should definitely take a swing at that. If you're only a couple picks away, you'll only probably have to give up a 3rd-round pick. Now, what's interesting here, firstly, like we said, and like that's a very big part of what I just said, they're going to draft not for need, but they will take the best available player, which is very interesting because I think Ottawa definitely can move up. And I think that point about the best available player means that they're very comfortable moving back too. That they're like, we don't have a necessary need. We can move back and we can take somebody there. So Ottawa definitely has a lot of options here. And I see Tempest saying in the chat, Sam Reinhart potentially. I would trade the 10th overall pick in a package for Sam Reinhart 100%. That kid, I'm pretty sure he had a solid season on a terrible Buffalo team.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's some contract disputes right now. I'm pretty sure he's an RFA. And he fits the bill. He's a young, talented prospect. Not prospect, a young, talented forward.
I just see 2 wheels down. I'm sorry. I just see 2 wheels down with the Claude Giroux talk. There was a little bit of like a conversation
We'll talk about him,
a week ago or something that
Yeah.
came on Twitter about Claude Giroux.
Yeah.
That's an interesting trade as well, honestly.
Well, I'll say this. For Ottawa, Claude Giroux, I don't see it happening right now. I don't know why Philadelphia would trade him. They've made it very clear they're not in a rebuilding phase, so they're not going to trade Claude Giroux. All right, that's just not going to happen. Now that being said, does Claude Giroux want to come to Ottawa to play hockey? I'm sure he does. He comes here to play summer league hockey. Like I know people that play with him in the summer. So listen, he definitely Ottawa is a big part of his life. He's a local kid, essentially. He grew up around here. So listen, he definitely has interest playing in Ottawa. Oh. And the Canadians just scored first, 1-0 over the Jets. But, Claude Giroux, I just don't think it happens. But a Sam Reinhart, I think a Sam Reinhart is definitely something Ottawa can look into. But would Buffalo do that at number 10? With the number 1 overall pick? Maybe they just want to add on to this draft pick and make it a big night for Buffalo fans to get some hype, get some season tickets. You never know. But, that's a bombshell tweet there from Simmer. We're always appreciative of his great work. Shout out to him, honestly. He does great work there at TSN.
Right.
And all the guys there at TSN 1200 do some good work.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They do some good work. But thank you once again to Michael Czar for letting me know about that tweet. I wasn't Hockey Never Stops asked what's position is their biggest need? Right wing. I think that's pretty safe to say. Right wing's their biggest.
Right wing. Yeah.
Defenseman too, but
right wing, defenseman.
And
but
I think
nothing else. Everything else just seems pretty stable.
Pretty stable. Like you could obviously, if you can add a top prospect at the right wing, at the center position,
you're going to do
center depth. You're going to do it like a Ken Johnson. But yeah, Ottawa doesn't need another center. So Noah, before we wrap it up here, I have a question for you. I think this is very important.
Question for me. All right.
This is very important, and I'll ask people in the chat box too. Please. Put in the chat box, what type of shows, what type of content do you want to see Noah Luden be a part of during the next couple of months during this off season? Do you want to see him in live streams for live shows when he's able to, of course? He has a busy schedule. He's a busy guy. But I want to see what you guys have to say because, I have a lot of ideas, obviously. But I think I want to see what the fans have to say. What do they want to see from you? Because the fans are a big reason why we're doing this. We've had at the minimum 30 people watching us talk about hockey for the last hour. So shout out to them. Best fan base in the Sens fan base here on Sens Talk always. But Noah, firstly, what would you be interested in doing? I just shoot the crap here on the live stream.
It depends. Listen, the channel is Sens Talk, but there's only so much Sens content you can put out in the end of the day. You never know. Maybe there's some more broad NHL stuff. You never know, honestly.
Live shows?
Yeah, maybe.
Because
those are a possibility, right? Like, I don't think there was any like big idea that I had right at the moment, like that I can leak out or whatever. But it's always good to get advice.
Well, I will say this. I think the live. Listen, whenever we do these live shows, these live streams, the fans really do show out, and they support us. So, speaking of supporting us, go to senstalk.ca. We got some online shop there. We got some Sens Talk shotgun tools on sale still.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty cool. Open up a beer, take a shotty for the Sens, after a big win.
Yep.
We got those on sale. Pretty good prices, really good shipping deals too. So go to senstalk.ca. You'll see the online shop there. as well. Go to SeatGeek.com, use the promo code SENSTALK. You'll save $20 off your first purchase. And most importantly, we got some merchandise coming up in the near future. Some shirts, some sweaters, and some other stuff. So stay tuned for that. A lot of merch going to be coming in the next couple months. And speaking of the next couple months, I'm moving out. So we're going to have a new studio. Next year, it's going to be a really fun year for Sens fans. Now, I want to leave it off with that question from Corey Hill, but what the Senators will do in free agency before we sign off on this live stream.
Right.
So I think Ottawa, everyone's talking about bringing in a center. I think Ottawa probably drafts a forward. And I don't really know how that affects their roster right now, but I think Ottawa is pretty set in the forward department. Maybe bring in, like, people are talking about Ryan Hopkins. I just don't see that happening. I think you could bring in a solid third line center, 2-3 center. You know what I mean? If Shane Pinto needs a little bit of support there. But I think the biggest trade, or not biggest trade, but the biggest move that Ottawa will make in this offseason will be on the right-handed side on the defensive core. And I think Matt Dumba, Ottawa has shown interest in before. I would love to see a Matt Dumba on this team. There's a really solid top four defenseman Ottawa desperately needs if they want to take the next step next year.
I would say that this isn't a year where the Sens are just trying to plug a couple of holes.
2-0 Montreal. I hate to cut you off. Holy cow.
This isn't a year where Ottawa's plugging the holes and getting getting guys like Anisimov and Braden Coburn and guys like that. We're opening our window for contention here. We got to get an actual, I'd say a middle six center is something I would look for, whether it's with that pick or who knows, whether it's a defenseman. We've talked about Jones, we've talked about Dumba, two good options. You never know. A guy who could play either in the top pairing or the second pairing, some guy like that, but a serious piece. This isn't like we're gonna go sign Carl Alsner off waivers and he's gonna be our big addition. No, this is real hockey now. This isn't Pee Wee Town anymore. This is real stuff.
Pee Wee Town. All right, buddy. Listen, I think Ottawa definitely could use a top six center. Ryan Hopkins is interesting, but unlikely. But Sam Reinhart, I can see Ottawa making a move for Matt Dumba. But I think you hit the nail. You hit the nail in the coffin there when you said that Ottawa is starting to hit their window. They want to start opening that window further, get some more air in, open that window real large, and let's see. Hey, Ottawa, clearly there's some expectations now from management, from ownership, and from the fan base. So this is gonna be an interesting offseason. And speaking of that, lots of great content coming your way as usual. Some more live streams. I think Noah and I have spoken. And I don't want to speak on behalf of Noah, and you can shout me, you can call me out on the stream here if I'm wrong. Please do. But I'm pretty sure we've spoken multiple times with not only you, but with the team itself, the entire SensTalk team. So a lot of live stream content will be coming your way, especially during the playoffs. We're thinking of doing some live reaction to some games, maybe in the next round, maybe this round, maybe the Stanley Cup final. We'll see. So we got a lot of live content coming your way. So get ready for a lot of interactiveness with yours truly, with of course Noah Luden right over there, because we love you guys. We appreciate all the support, and hey, listen, you guys, none of this was possible without you guys. You guys are the reason why we are the number one YouTube channel for Ottawa Senator news. We are the voice for the Ottawa Senators for many of you guys, and that's really, we're humbled by that. So thank you for all the support. So there could be a lot of live stream content in the near future. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Noah, why don't you shout out your Twitter, your Twitch, and then I'll wrap it up.
All right. So again, my Twitter at Noah_Luden. Obviously Brandon follows me, so that might be a way you find me. And on Twitch is at Cankles, IIICANKLES. That's on Twitch. We're streaming NHL and MLB, and it's a good time there. Good stuff.
Good fan base there too.
Of course.
There's a little fun. It's funny. There's sectors of the Sens Talk fan bases. Yeah, there's some. I was surprised when I visited your stream the other day. There's some Sens Talk fans in there too. So hey, we're building an army here, and stay tuned. We're going to launch a Discord going into next season. We've built one, but we're gonna really put on some nice touches for that. So we're in a beta stage right now, like a mock stage. So we really want to make sure it's pretty cool. So we're gonna really build this community, because a lot of you guys like talking with each other in the premiere chats and the live chats on YouTube. So we want to make that a 24/7 thing for you guys, and we want to build this thing together with you guys, because like I said many times, I'll say it again, this is not possible without you guys. So besides that, all Sens content can be found on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Sens Talk. And hey, appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Like I said, I'm taking a few days off. I'll probably see you at the beginning of next week, probably Monday, for some sort of video. But I'm taking a few days off, get some breather, get some air, get my paper done that I haven't started for some reason. We'll get that done. I'll see you guys in a few days. But I love you all. Thank you all for stopping by. Sorry you didn't get to see any "it's a top 3 pick" reaction, but hopefully we don't have to worry about the draft lottery anymore. Hopefully next year we're doing some playoff live streams or something, because Ottawa, the future is bright. I can't wait for what the future holds. But that's it. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate the support, and we'll catch you in the next one.